Yes, I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, it's an attack a Billings couple is describing as unprovoked and bizarre. The trauma from a stabbing so bad, a couple picked up their lives to move from Missoula to Billings. But as Q2's Andrea Lutz explains, moving forward involves holding one of the largest grocery chains in our state responsible. We'd like to warn you, some of these images are disturbing.
Forward after a gruesome attack in the parking lot of an Albertsons grocery store in Missoula. Well, now they are suing one of the largest grocery chains in the West, with numerous locations all across Montana. Although Dylan Turner's physical wound is healing,
I had a full arterial laceration.
The trauma of what happened in late July is not.
I was a mechanic, so now I can't turn wrenches. I haven't been to the gym since July.
At the time, Dylan and his wife Jocelyn were living in Missoula, and on a lazy Sunday, they decided to hit up Tremper's shopping center for some to-do list items.
We were driving through, the Albertsons parking lot, and we kind of saw an employee there, pushing a line of carts.
That employee is Shane Davis, currently in jail in Missoula County.
And he starts aggressively charging at me, throwing his hands up.
Police say Davis, who was on shift at Albertsons, grabbed a concealed knife from his belongings at the store and targeted Dylan in an erratic and aggressive attack.
And I see him literally swing right at my face, and I throw my arm up like this in a defensive position.
The knife sliced Dylan's right arm.
It doesn't fully move the way it used to.
Now the Turners are filing suit against Albertsons for negligent hiring and supervision of Davis.
I'm looking for them to take responsibility for this situation.
With a simple Google search, it's clear Davis has a record in Montana, previously convicted of breaking into a Missoula home and exposing himself to a 3-year-old girl, even spending time at the state's psychiatric hospital.
He shouldn't have been there.
In court documents, he told officers he didn't mean to do it and said punches were being thrown at him. However, prosecutors say no witness to the assault saw that. I reached out to Albertsons looking for comment, but after writing 2 emails and making a phone call,
still can't leave a message.
I have not received a response. Dylan and Jocelyn have since moved to Billings to start fresh.
My right arm that got stabbed is probably 80% weaker than it was, and I get like weird sharp shooting pains in my arm. It doesn't fully move the way it used to.
But starting over isn't that simple. His physical injury has put him out of work. But deeper than that is the fear his emotional scar may never heal.
And I'm worried I'm going to be, debilitated.
Montana reports just under 1,000 new cases today, but the active case total reaches more than 11,000. Yellowstone County with the most new cases, nearly 200, and the county's active case now approach 3,000. Yellowstone also reports a death today, bringing the October total to 46. Now that equates to more than 1 death every 36 hours this month.
An update on the threats at Hardin High School, some concerns at a Halloween venue in Deer Lodge, and we start with the first case of the flu in the state in a year and a half. The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services confirms a Flathead County child tested positive for influenza, the first case in Montana since April of 2020. Nationwide, the CDC reports 121 confirmed flu cases as of October 16th. According to the department, flu season typically starts in October and peaks in December or January. Threats against Hardin High School students and staff that forced classes to be canceled on Monday have been deemed not credible. Superintendent Chad Johnson said in a Facebook post Thursday morning that 2 threats were made, one on Sunday, a second on Wednesday. He cannot share any more information as the investigation is ongoing. On Sunday, school officials announced that information suggested a serious threat against students and staff at Hardin High School. The school district canceled all classes and extracurricular activities. Students returned on Tuesday with heightened security measures, including a single point of entry at all buildings, metal detecting wands, and a thorough bag check. A haunted house scheduled to be held in Deer Lodge this Halloween has some upset because it's in a former funeral home. For the past 10 years, Cutler Brothers Productions has been hosting a haunted house show. The company has received many negative messages on social media and voicemails. The owner of the building gave permission. The production company puts on the show and has taken precautions for Friday and the weekend. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Halloween was a little dead back in 2020 because of COVID-19. But this year, a sense of normalcy has returned. After a year-long hiatus, Trick or Treat 2021 is back in business, or businesses, that is. Organized by the Billings Downtown Alliance, more than 60 businesses are participating in this year's Trick or Treat, an event that hosts thousands of kids across the community.
It may sound like a trick, but Trick or Treat 2021 is back.
It is a really big downtown family-friendly event. We have people coming from the south side, the west side, the Heights.
Billings' 19th annual Trick or Treat event is going to look a little different this year amidst a pandemic. Masks are encouraged, which shouldn't be too challenging for most, but that's not all.
We are encouraging masks, of course. We're encouraging social distancing, but also the low-touch, no-touch candy distribution, which has proven to be really fun.
And fun is what it's all about. Parents and kids are hopeful for a sense of normalcy.
I know cases are rising. It just feels different this year to us. And I don't know if that's just because maybe we're tired of it all.
Like many, Jacob Graneman is trying to find a safe way for his kids to partake in Halloween.
How do we keep our family safe? We want to participate in things, and we think it's nice that things are back, but how do you participate in a safe manner?
And that includes trick-or-treating in his family's neighborhood.
We cheat a little bit. The kids have masks for their costumes, and they'll have their masks underneath those.
Parent Chris Bellback plans on stopping by some of these businesses with his daughter, but hopes that other families also have safety in mind.
I think it's good. I just hope people are kind of safe, give people some distance, and that's, kind of my thoughts on it. It's a thought that it could be, could turn out bad if people aren't safe.
If you want to check out Trick or Treat 2021, swing by this Friday. The event is completely free and it's from 1 to 5. In Billings, Alina Howder, MTN News.
Well, we now bring in Q2 Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh and some chilly weather on the way. Just how cold, Ed?
For this time of the year, it isn't that cold, but it's going to be a lot different than what we've become used to. Check out Livingston tomorrow, likely up into the mid-60s. You'll have some wind, but that sharp drop in the temperatures could be 20, 25 degrees by the time we get into Saturday, and then continue to hold into some cooler than average temperatures next week. Miles City, same story. A huge drop in the temperatures between Friday and Saturday, and it's going to take a while to start to level off despite some afternoon sunshine. For Sheridan, we're also looking at a big drop in temperatures, but a chance of showers, especially early Saturday. And for the Billings area, once those temperatures drop off from Saturday onward, we're looking at those readings struggling to get back up to average. A closer look at the forecast details coming up.
Montana's Districting and Apportionment Commission has brought forward 2 proposals on how to divide the state into congressional districts, each proposed by members of one of the 2 major parties. Over the last few weeks, one of the major topics of discussion has been how competitive the new districts might be, so we decided to take a look back at some previous election results. The 2 maps have broad similarities. Both split the state into western and eastern districts, and in both cases, the eastern district would be strongly Republican, while the western district would be more closely divided between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans' proposal, called CP10 by the Commission, puts Glacier and Pend Oreille counties in the western district, and Lewis and Clark County in the eastern district. It splits Gallatin County, putting the city of Bozeman and Belgrade in the west. Democrats' map, called CP11, has all of Gallatin County in the western district, along with Park and Lewis and Clark counties. It splits Flathead County with Kalispell and Columbia Falls in the eastern district. Whitefish would be in the west. Because the maps don't run exactly along precinct lines, our numbers are only best estimates. On the presidential level, Donald Trump received more votes in both maps' western districts in 2016 and 2020. 2 incumbent Democrats, Governor Steve Bullock in 2016 and Senator Jon Tester in 2018, also got more votes in the West under both maps. They are the only 2 Democrats to win statewide since 2014. In U.S. House races, both maps again show the same results. Republican Ryan Zinke would have won in the West in 2014 and 2016. Democrat Kathleen Williams would have won in 2018, and Republican Matt Rosendale would have won in 2020. In 2016, Montana had 3 open seats for state land board offices. Under map CP10, Republican candidates won the Western District in 2 of those races. Democratic candidates would have won the West twice under CP11. The commission is taking comments on these 2 maps, online and at a hearing on Saturday, starting at 9:30 a.m. There, they're also expected to narrow it down to one final map, which will be heard at a final hearing on November 4th. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Still to come on your MTN 530 News, we learn how shovels, signs, and stickers can help prevent a heart attack. That story next.
The MTN 530 News continues right after this.